so far. But you can see here, already into the draft phase, no auction being allowed on the other side.
Yep. Likeable is a Akshan one trick. We've got the Karthus being banned from Lost to Shopkeeper as well. Obviously, always going to get banned against him. And then Soraka just is a huge. Oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Day in the life dropped out. So it looks like they had a little something else going on. So we will see what happens there. Oops. I also need to do a little something here as well on my end. But yeah, so we're getting things. Looks like there was a little bit of a bug going in there. Feels bad, man. Feels a little bit toasty and bad. But overall, honestly, kind of excited. I think the bans will also stay the same. The picks and bans that I've been seeing so far will stay the same, and keep everything okay there. But as you said, the Akshan taken off the table. What do you think instead we'll get to see Kino come out with then?
I mean, Kino plays a lot. Kino will play something like Renekton probably. He
Mm.
likes those early bruisers that can really get a big lead. Something like Volibear would also work. He's been playing a lot of Jace. It's actually the Akshan getting banned from Likeable though on the blue side.
Mm.
Because Kino's banning it actually. We'll probably end up seeing Likeable play something like a Zir or Vlad or Kassadin. He usually goes into those like heavy scaling mages afterwards.
Okay. That's always a fun one to play into as well. I think we did see Likeables. I want to say we saw Likeables Azir earlier. It escapes me if we did, but we did see an Azir come out here, and it was very, very powerful. At the same time, though, a lot of safety taken away. Double jungle ban on the blue side, just saying we don't want to deal with it right now. And then the Soraka ban against the bot side. So very interesting. Heavy hitters, though, coming out here. The Akshan, the Jinx, and the Katarina. Again, you got to ban that Katarina. Orianna hovered. Not
Yeah,
giving that blind pick? Ooh.
Orianna does seem like one of those champions Likeable would play, just a scaling mage with some utility. And the champion just seems really strong on this patch. It's almost by far the best mid laner. And if you're gonna have the blind pick on blue side anyway, you might as well get it right away.
Mm-hmm. Just grab it, go with it, have fun with it. Of course, Ziggs, the other one, got a flurry or a smattering of changes as well, giving him a little bit of buff back. But a good way to catch the Orianna and also deal with a lot of the combinations that can come out. Lilia joining the upper ranks as well. We've been seeing Lilia come a little bit more into the meta as well, into the current setup. So double AP set up on the side.
This Ziggs could always be flexed bot lane as well.
Mm.
I'm kind of expecting it into the mid lane though. As far as I know Insurance will play pretty much anything, but I don't think I've ever actually seen him play Ziggs.
Mm.
Also, the
That
Vi getting picked is the counter to this Lilia. Also, a big lockdown for maybe trying to get onto that long range Ziggs.
Mm-hmm. The Zig's just like, I don't want to play. And then Vi's like, yes, you will play. However, Sir Isaac Newton throwing down the gauntlet here. The Darius grabbed up blind. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That is a challenge and a half, I think.
I do like to see it. It's his most played top laner as far as I know. One of his better top laners for sure. I do like to see him try and. Yep, you're gonna see the Renekton come out from.
Yes.
Kino is not known to back down from one of these fights, and so this is gonna be a really explosive top lane.
This is a hands check. I think this is what it is. This is the hands check that we're going to see throughout, and I think it's going to be fun, right? We have not seen. We've seen hands checks in the mid to late game, I think is what we've seen, but we haven't seen the full hands check situations in the early game. Seeing players constantly duking it out. Specifically, we've seen mid lane opportunities arise, but never players just like, yeah, we're going to fight from level 1 onwards. We see the Nautilus band looking in towards that bot lane as we are looking for what could be ADC and support on the side of Tempo Rush, and ADC and support definitely for the side of EGL.
You never really know what's going to happen in this bot lane with Aaron or Vindy down there. He is always willing to pull out some really weird picks. A lot of combos with Swain have been had in this bot lane before. Swain Leona, Swain Nautilus. MF being banned, one of Kabas's go-to picks as well.
I think that's
A lot of 80 carries have already been banned. I'm kind of curious, like, what people are going to go for. I wonder if EGL might be looking towards a Kog'Maw play. I do know Kabas has been a big fan of Kog'Maw. I don't know if it's still any good.
Well, you're taking a look at the comp, right? And it feels like I'd be interested to see what they pair with it as well in the support role. That one is very fun. The Caitlyn and the Ashe are still on the table as well. So it does look like it is that hover and the lock-in of the Caitlyn. Gonna go ahead and run that one into the ground. We've seen it time and time again. Now the question is, do you want to go with the Ashe? Do you want to maybe try and find him there? We've also seen the Sivir attempted to be used.
Ashe is banned.
Ashe
so
is banned.
It's probably between Sivir and Kog'Maw, if I had to guess. But Jhin, interesting.
Yeah, I wish I seen the Ashe ban. You know, I totally look at all the bans. Don't worry, everyone. The Jhin coming out here, that one's another long-range sniper. What do they pair with it then? There are so many options going if you want to go
probably... What? Janna? No, please, no. I hope it's Leona, but I could see Rakan also work.
Rakan seems like the safer answer, almost, right? Like, you can get in and out. You're okay there?
I feel like just Janna in general does not fit into this comp at all. And
Right?
it doesn't really do anything against the other comp. Especially since you know they're going to be trying to pick something long-ranged with this Caitlyn.
It'd be the Vindy special at that point, right?
Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting to pick Janna into anyone into this game. But the Rakan definitely fits this playstyle a lot better. And I actually think Rakan's like the best support right now.
Best of both worlds and everything like that. But taking a look at the drafts here, that Ziggs is going into the mid lane, and does that change your perception of Tempo Rush's composition right now? Because I know you were faltering a little bit, or deciding if it was going to go in the bot side or in the mid. Do you like it more in the mid now with the Caitlyn pickup?
I do. I think Caitlyn Lux is like a really strong lane, and it doesn't take much for them to get an advantage. The Lux is another one of those champions that team just plays with a lot. And I would not be surprised if they're very comfortable using it in this bot lane.
Well, that's good to hear. Appropriately enough, as well as Kabas and Vindy stepping up a lot to try and play in here. But Zombro, the one of swapping roles right now on the Vi. I mean, how much pressure is on the Vi right now? How much pressure is on the side of EGL with their composition loadout? Do you see Zombro having to put in an immense amount of effort to almost go even against the likes of Tempo Rush?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting. I do know Zombro. I've always thought of Zombro as a jungler. I'm surprised that he was playing support to begin with in this league. But I'm kind of excited to see what he can do now in this 5 pick.
And last kind of major serious question. Well, I guess it's more fun, right? Taking a look at the top lane, Kino and Sir Isaac Newton. I saw some spam, I think, a little bit in the chat. Vindy was talking about it, same as Kino. Do we expect the Darius and Renekton to be left alone? Or do we expect the junglers to try and apply pressure up there? Whether just based out of like respect for the top laners or just, you know, what goes on?
I would expect them to be kind of left alone. I think Zombro normally tends to play towards bot lane when he plays jungle. And Lilia is probably just going to be farming most of the game. So I think this is going to be a straight up 1v1 in the top lane, just 2 juggernauts going up against each other.
Do we see the ignites come out then? Do we see the ignites and like go? Yes. I hope.
I believe we'll see an ignite or a ghost on Darius, and then probably a TP on Renekton.
No, why would that? I understand why. I also don't play top lane, so.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is Kino. Kino would probably. I could see Kino pulling out an ignite, maybe. We'll see. But this top lane is definitely going to be interesting.
We'll have to watch and see how it feeds out. Mid lane, Likeable is going to do their own thing. And then the bot side, I mean, we're looking at that Jhin, Rakan, and Caitlyn Lux. 2 very different bot lanes wanting to do almost 2 different things. But Caitlyn Lux going to try and bully their way to victory. If any team fights occur, it will be on the side of EGL to start it off and try to end it as well. Super Thig, one of the questions I'd love to ask because we can. Who do you have your money on? If you had to lay down a line, if you had to lay down and put your trust in someone, which comp would it be?
I mean, you can't bet against Tempo Rush almost
True.
ever. It's just it's really hard. I I gotta put my money on Tempo Rush. Insurance too consistent, Kino too consistent. Peanut, it can just play anything. This team is just too good.
All right, well, you know what? Composition away. Don't even worry about it, but I do agree. I mean, Temple Rush look good. EGL, though, with a couple player swaps, are going to try their best to cause a little bit of chaos and hopefully make something happen in their own right. So many thoughts going through, though, as I believe they have won a game or two, I believe, in their previous sets. So we'll see if that continues. And even, okay. I forgot that there are new skins coming out, and I didn't realize Lost to Shopkeeper has it. That thing is terrifying to see in all sorts of life. I'm just saying. It's just, I mean, it's Ziggs, but it's not Ziggs, right? That's the only way I can put it.
Yeah, definitely have not seen. The skin must have like came out like this patch or something.
I don't want to see that anymore. I'm not even going to zoom in on it. I'm just leaving it. All right, getting underway here, though. This should be a 5-point start. Hoping to see some good action. However, we have a 5-man sprint towards that top lane. EGL looking to get a little bit of a whiff onto Kino. If they find Kino early, that would put Sir Isaac Newton in
30 seconds
extended
until
lead
minions
here.
spawn.
Oh, there they go, and Kino knows exactly what to do. Said, not today.
Yeah, it's always nice to wait to level up your abilities, and then just in case, being able to just level up that E.
Good out.
Also, Ignite versus Ghost in the top lane, so no
Hey.
TPs.
Yes, I love this. I love blood in the water. That's all I want here. Taking a look, though, that is the interesting thing, talking about summoner spells as well as keystones. You can see Insurance going with a vastly different Caitlyn build here. This is the First Strike Comet, both Day in the Life and Insurance, maybe looking to just force out the opponent. Kabas also going for that Hunter stacks, just saying, hey, just give me those grand old stacks and let me keep trying to blow people off.
Yeah, seeing the First Strike, it makes me wonder if it's going to be the like full lethality Caitlyn build. But I'm not entirely sure if that build's actually meta, but it definitely could be. But just looking to farm with the range that they have, just extra gold as well, is really strong.
I will be honest, I have run lethality once by accident and came out an absolute Chad. I went like 12, 13 kills in with only 3 or 4 deaths because I also stupidly built Dustblade. But I stayed alive, and I was surprised about the damage output. The fact that Caitlyn's are allowed to do that now is so much fun to think about, I think.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to have the pressure and poke in this lane to like not have to worry too much about getting engaged on, especially if Vi's padding top lane like they did. I would have liked to see the Vi kind of cover this spot lane because you know that they're going to be pushing the whole game.
Just kind of float down there, say, hey, maybe I got a chance. And maybe so, because it is a double buff straight start. So you are looking towards that top side pretty much, but hey, maybe you get a little something else. However, information was not given, so Vi's going to go into a very empty jungle side. No person there, as well as no camps available.
Already an 8 CS lead on this Caitlyn. Just that much. There's just so much pressure in this lane. It's really hard to lane into, especially with something so short ranged as Jhin.
It's the obnoxious factor, I think is the best way to put it, right? The obnoxious playstyle, the obnoxious auto attacks, everything of that nature. I think everything on the side of Tempo Rush is annoying. You look down the lane, everything up there is just like burn, it's a slow, it's a dash in and out. There is no point where you're like, oh yeah, we can actually fight this. However, Kino gets the first gank treatment. Already taken down from low HP, trying to dash away, flashes to follow. I mean, Sir Isaac Newton can follow with a flash of their own, waiting for the pull. Gonna flash in, and oh, Kino turns it! Kino turned in! Knew the Q was coming out, and said thank you very much.
even if the Q had landed, I don't know if it kills. I think you kind of have to Q flash before the point, like the lead runs out to restack it. But I do like the attempt, but now Kino's going to be in a kind of strong position here.
Oh. And Insurance and Day in the Life are going to take that kill as well. Vindy tried to go in, could not get the damage that they thought was fully chunked out. It's going to leave the boss alone and terrified. 2 early kills on 2 big team members.
As expected.
Yeah, it's already a 1,000 gold lead, only at 4 minutes. It's not really what you're liking to see if you're on the EGL side. But you do have Likeable in the mid lane. Getting Shopkeeper no mana. He's trying to burn maybe a flash here.
Both of them were out of mana. I love watching APCs try and run forward with no mana in the pocket. It's quite funny. Just a little chipping away on the back of the head, if you will. But Dragon coming up here in just a few, looking like a Hex Tech. Well, it's going to be nice to have as well early abilities as well as...
We still see Kino giving some respect to this Darius pick, though. Not just fully four in hand yet.
I think that's
probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about how close that topside kill was. It's like, I mean, I don't think you have a choice in that situation. Item buyback though, Sir Isaac Newton going for the small components, longsword, cloth, as well as dagger, whereas the pickaxe as well as longsword came out for Kino. So little different power spikes for both top laners.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where this Vi is going to go next to try and get this team back into it. Mid lane is just kind of going to be a snooze farm build, but I would like to see him try and visit that top or bot lane yet again.
You visit everywhere, right? Visit all the lanes, visit in a happy stance. I mean, heck, I want to go traveling too. Shoot. They got me thinking about taking a road trip somewhere, right? Just no worries. We're not playing that hard right now. Bot side though, massive wave currently being collected here. Mid lane as well. Like will try to push it to under tower, but couldn't have it happen. Look at the extra pieces that they have. Fragments 20 CS up in this bot lane for Insurance. And Dragon not even looking forward to it. Neither team really placing words down there.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for when you pick this Caitlyn pick, is you're looking to get a couple like CS, but then you're also just looking to see how many plates you can actually get. And then all it takes is, after you get a few items, just one binding, and then you can just fully one-shot someone.
Oh! And that was a heck and a half of a gank back. Flash over the wall from Peanut, stalled out a chance to kill, lost to Shopkeeper. Mega Inferno Bomb, like face. That is danger all around as Sir Isaac Newton is able to draw Kino under the tower for one hit, but the sustain from Kino is now going to overpower the Darius.
Yeah, he's probably looking for a little bit more HP on this Darius, and then would probably look for the redive, but seeing as he's still at half HP, Kino's just going to back off. And, maybe he has an item. Oh, wait, he's waiting to see if he's going to walk up.
You do get the walk up. Yes, damage. No, Sir Isaac Newton, though, walking away as quickly as possible. You have to recall. You have to sacrifice your tower for your life. That one always hurts to see Vindy playing on a hair's breadth. Almost step on the trap. Step on the trap. I think that's what's identified so far.
Yeah, and it does look like it is going to be that lethality Caitlyn build, so we might be able to see some of these ults just start one-shotting some of these squishy targets late game.
I love that. You're just like, oh yeah, ace in the hole will do 50%. Nah. This is 100 or nothing. I'm sorry. You better be ready to run.
Last time we saw this turret, it was at 5 plates. All of a sudden, it's down to like just the last 2.
And an angry ult here coming out of Kabas. I almost, if you're trying to just push him off tower, I almost would have used it on the next ensuing wave, right? But instead, Insurance only loses about 25%. They're gonna happily push in this wave, and Kabas and Vindy might not have the best recall value right now.
As expected.
Yeah. Let's see. Probably they're sitting on about 800 gold on the Jhin. You can probably get 2 bomb swords. Not really exactly what you want to see on your recall. Caitlyn, on the other hand, could probably back and get Mythic.
I like how that's such a stark difference that you point out. It's just like, I mean, it's just Mythic at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, 3 plates is gonna do that for you. And yeah, we see the Ghost Blade coming out. They're just gonna come right back and probably take this tower without any problem.
Lost 2 Shopkeeper just got hard ganked by everyone on the top side of the map. EGL left nothing to chance in taking down that Ziggs.
Yeah, finally the Vi like getting on the map and trying to do something. And with the Vi ult and the Ori ult, you can finally lock up that Ziggs enough to make it so that he can't get away. And now that since the Zig also doesn't have any flash, you can probably just do it again when your ults are back up.
Especially with this dragon coming up, or that has been up for the last 5 minutes. It's a little bit of a wonder, right? You can see some of these kills and the team needs towards that objective, but it's not been a high priority, which I am quite surprised that you aren't putting pressure on it. Neither team really wants to go for it and put themselves in a compromising position. Whether that be tempo rush saying we don't want to just keep farming and get a lead there, and EGL just like we just can't look at dragon.
Yeah, like Caitlyn already doing a third of Jin's HP. Can't even sit under tower. This is kind of what you want to see when you pick this Caitlyn, is just absolutely destroying the bot lane 2v2.
It feels great beating a player of that sort. That is going to be is that the Youmuu's Ghost Blade? Yeah, that's Youmuu's Ghost Blade coming out here. Getting a little bit of extra speed in there if you're so quick. That's going to be a draw under the tower, though. Zombro looking for a chance. Kino does have flash. Might be able to flash out of the way, but no, trying to turn it around. Remember, with that Fury, you're looking strong. Might be able to get the kill, and does. Flashes within the handle range and dodges out from the knockup. That might be a chance back. The healing is so real. Kino with the double kill. You have a dash up. You have a dash up out of the shockwave path. Likeable. You gotta run, and you're able to get the kill, but my gosh, was that damaging. You put 3 on the top side, you lost 2, and only earned 1. Not a good return on investment.
Oh, and the Rift Herald's gonna just crash into the mid lane. With Ziggs Satchel too, they might just lose this mid turret straight up.
I mean, this is one of those moments where you went, there was a desperation play made, and it did not go the way that you wanted. Not only did you lose 2 in the top side, you have lost mid and bot tower. That is a total of 10 plates. 12 if you include the 2 lost on the top side. And now Dragon gonna be stolen away as Zombo came 25 damage away from stealing it.
Zombo's not gonna like that. Trying to get his top winner back into the game, and now the game just seems completely over.
Wow, everyone is watching.
This is...
And then just to put the salt in the wound, smites it down to 24. It's
There are
You will learn what beauty truly
teams
is.
that know how to put a stranglehold, that they're not flashy. They can be flashy, but they don't have to be, right? They draft appropriately to choke the life out of you, and even on good plays, even when you attempt to make a good play, it feels like you're not. And then when you make a bad play, it feels like a worse play. That is what we're seeing here. Look at this. Again, the chances. The brutality is so real. And that's going to be the headshot. A heal to get away as insurance lives. Life insurance not needed. They're going to take 15 plates.
Yeah. They'll probably get back in time to take this last one. But even still, yeah, this lead is getting kind of crazy. It's already up to 4K now at 13 minutes, and it's kind of hard to see where EGL can even play around to come back from. Their one like key player that's actually doing well right now is this Orianna on Likeable. But even like Likeable normally, or Orianna doesn't really have the burst damage to get through a Renekton, and this Kayla is just gonna probably half melt them.
It's just that dangerous. It's Likeable's like, bro, really, I gotta deal with this. And Day in the Life is actually hunting for a chance. But Things are getting out of hand very quickly. 5K in the lead. Feeling great. Kino's straight up running Darius out of the game. More power to you. And at this point, I mean, we're just hitting that 14th minute.
No tower here as well with the Lilia. Oh,
Okay.
just pressing go, so he's good.
Yeah. They don't want to force too much, and I can appreciate it. You're making a play on the top side as well. Don't need to. 3 towers down. Lots of gold in their pocket. And Dragon in 2.5 minutes. Everything's spinning. Tempo rushes way.
Through my work, you shall transcend.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to give a little bit of credit to the bot lane of EGL. They only died the one time against this bot lane, even though they've been so dominant. Obviously they're down a lot of CS in the whole tower, but at least they're not out of the game in levels. So even though they're down a lot of gold, it is still possible to maybe get a couple of kills onto this Jhin and actually start fighting back.
Yeah, that's their hope. But for right now, the life is being choked out. Herald gonna go down as well. And for Kavas, I mean, where do you even find those kills? I mean, we gotta talk about this, right? If you're trying to funnel kills in, where do you even start to look? Zombro has not had the most optimal time. There hasn't really been any benefits that we've seen all the way around. Where would Kavas start to even look for these?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be in some kind of team fight. I think we're gonna need to see Vindy and Sir Isaac Newton and Zombro try and get onto this back line. Maybe get a decent Orianna ult, and then maybe you can clean it up with the Jhin ult at the end. But it's gonna be pretty tricky with this Renekton just standing in between the Jhin and the rest of the team.
Gotta play as a team, and I mean, they're already seeing it here. You can see it, lost 2 shot, keeper walking up, and throws a bomb to get perfect information. That is how you check everywhere. No one can get the sneaking suspicion, even in the dark. Tempo Ref is saying, we know exactly where you're at. And I mean, when I say dark, right? Dark, that's gonna be a huge ult going in. Good change day in the life, though. Survives outside of the shockwave. And now that ult's down, that big ticket item that you were talking about, Super Thick, is gone for this upcoming Dragon. They're gonna have to look for the kill though. Likeable takes it away, and Immune is used. There is no curtain call to be made. Flash forward though, they found Interest, who flashes directly into the kill. Shut down for Likeable.
Yeah, really well done from EGL here, finding a couple of picks before this big team fight. So maybe now they can try and contest this. You kind of have to keep the connection here off of the sleeping. Oh, the zigzag.
It burns so well, but what burns worse is going to be Tempo Rush. Look at Sir Isaac Newton as well as Vinny have to leave. Dragon will be in the hands of Tempo Rush. They will win that one in a non-dominant fashion. Oh my gosh. So close to death. He saw the final spark go.
I didn't even think about just sleeping them and then layering a Ziggs ult right on top of it. That combo is going to be really strong, especially with the double Leandre's burn afterwards.
The fact that it stacks now is even more annoying. I know they changed that like ages ago, but it's still one of the frustrating moments there, I think, that they're allowing stacking of Leandre's on top of each other. Like, stop.
Yeah, especially if you're building some of those high HP characters. You'll just start getting shredded and you're like, what's happening to my health?
And on top of that, I think it's not Abyssum, it's Demonic Embrace, right? It's just the constant burn of just everything. You're like, this is awful. Can we not do this today? Can I not watch my YouTube play? It's like a brand without a brand here. What the heck? Taking a look here though, 18 minutes in and looking at a 6K lead. And looking like a little bit more as a good laser comes across, and now Ace in the hole, no one blocked! Kabas, you gotta realize you gotta save your teammate there. I know you're full health, but you'd only drop down to a quarter.
Yeah, and the Lux is just gonna end up scaling as well. For as abusive it is in lane, it's just another mage you have that can play from afar that do a lot of damage.
Oh my gosh, the follow through. Kino looking to try and get that kill, but so many tower shots went through him. Very, very low now. Waiting for the cooldowns to come up. Maybe you turn it around. Likeable's got to be careful, though. Well, I guess not really any summoner spells. I think Kino's just going to get away. So Isaac Newton, though, has the ward down. Lost shot. But can't get over the wall. And does have one build with you. Yes, you do, but the Sultan battery will take life. There ain't no shield in the world that can save you from that fight. Kino now burns. Multiple kills going against the likes of Temple Rush. EGL able to find some scraps of gold.
Yeah, I will say, like, Renekton will fall off a little bit late game. Obviously, he's going to be still this really big, beefy tank, no matter what's going to happen, but the damage will fall off. So a lot of the gold on him, although it's going to be annoying.
You were just talking about it.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so the Renekton will be less of a damage threat, but he's still going to be really hard to deal with how much he's going to be healing and being able to take.
The damage part falls off. The tankiness, the pressure is still there, and honestly, it is all on its own here. Insurance literally just popping people just to see how much damage you can do and get extra gold. Vindy stepping up though. Trying to clear out some wards, make sure you're good to go, and get ready for the next big objective. Baron is on the table. And honestly, with the double, triple burn coming in here, I think Temple Rush can take it pretty much off rip.
Yeah, and then you also have you just have a lot of damage on this team, and being able to just start the Baron, not even to take it, but just to bait the other team into them. That fight is not going to look too good for EGL either. So I would like to see them at least start it and try and play zone control, try and get a few picks.
Well, we'll see what they can do. As they're making the way through, remember, even though this game has been going on for quite some time, we're about 20 and a half minutes in, and the gold is since the kills have not really been there. We're looking at a 6-9 scoreline. Very nice. But the thought here is that maybe they haven't really stack checked each other just yet. Again, all these players are very, very well practiced and well versed. They should know what a gold difference feels like. But hey, maybe we see EGL catch out Temple Rush and catch up off guard. Like, hey, maybe we thought our damage was more or less, depending on who you're looking at.
Yeah, and there is a pretty big differential in a lot of the lanes for Temple Rush. Almost all of them are about 2,000 gold up, but then there is Likeable on EGL, about $2,000 up on his laner. So it is a bit of a weird power dynamic where most of EGL is behind, but Likeable is in a really good spot to do a lot of damage in this next fight.
They can pull off the damage. That'll be a amazing time to start making a comeback here. Dragon up in 20 seconds. Everyone scattered around. Good E to scout them out. Likeable though, able to chunk out insurance. That's going to be a big one to have. Remember, we talked about Likeable being the main clutch factor. Oh, but that's a root. That's going to be a hit. That's almost going to be a kill. Vindy down to about 10% HP. Body blocks coming in from the rest of the team. Very nicely done in their own right. Zombro though, alone getting bopped. This is not what you want to have happen. Flashed away to safety. But the rest of EGL are in dire straits. This is not what you want to have happen. This is a problem to be set on. Sir Isaac Newton saying, I want to fight this Kino up 2 levels. Dragon burning down to about 50%. Zombro looking to get over the wall. Do you get the smite this time? No! The bop and finish. Zombro, you're alone and you are killed. Kill going Insurance's way. Then jump over the wall as it's a singular sleep. Lilting Lullaby will keep him safe, but not into the Krug. Clipped by the Mega Inferno Bomb. Now another root and a bind. The chase, the kills, the burn, the bleed. Everything of EGL's will fall. Ace in the hole to take the 4th as Insurance is on a killing spree.
It's going to go hide forever.
The sweep going on to one player, but it's the one player that has a lead on EGL, so it's good enough to just completely blow this fight open, and everyone else is just in shambles and running away as the fight's basically already over. And now the Baron should be heading over to Temple Rush as well.
I mean, this is all they need, right? It feels like they don't even have to go for Elders or go for Soul. They can just use and break what they have 5 powers of work. They have effectively locked out EGL of all macro games of objectives. They only took 1 Herald. I think there were, yeah, I think all the Heralds went their way too. Like, nothing has been given over to the side of EGL to gather any sort of strong push. Now, 12K in the lead, or 1K in the lead. Wow, 12 to 1, really? 11K in the lead, 3 dragons to your name. At this point, it is the do what you wish situation.
And this Caitlyn also just poking out. It's been so much. It does a quarter to the support, who already has a locket for armor, and you could also hear the bone plating go off. So through bone plating, it's doing 25%. It's so insane. And Kino just gets on top of the Oriana and just completely is almost untouchable.
They're just so
So tanky.
There's no stopping Kino. Kino's just having a ball right now. Kino's enjoying the high life as a one-man army.
He did say he was ready to show everyone how trash they are.
Well, you know, that's at least a good response. At least you get one, but how much more are you going to lose? I mean, it's a consolation prize. You go ahead, grab 1 kill, you lose your inhibitor tower. So Isaac pop the ghost even to try and get in range to get a piece of that kill, as they don't have a kill to their own name. I mean, this is Tempo Rush is taking things slow again. This is not the explosive, take a lot of chances you see all the time. This is slow, methodical, calculated, make sure no one makes any big mistakes to lose the game.
Yeah, they're playing to their range extremely well, just trying to make sure that they can't get engaged on at any chance of this game. Yeah, it's pretty annoying to play into this with such short range champions that EGL has. It's kind of on the Rakan to try and get a creative engage so that the other teammates can like catch back up and follow up with his with their CC as well.
You gotta throw an all or nothing moment. I think you're taking a look down the line. You were talking about the Rakan. It's gotta be that you gotta hard push, right? You gotta full send it to the moon and pray you get something. That's been their main game plan the entire time, and they haven't been allowed to do so. So take a look here. We are closing in on what could be the final set of moments at 26 minutes here. That's gonna be a little thing. Lullaby bomb from above and a laser across from off screen. Likeable is destroyed.
Yeah, that must be really fun to play against. You know, something hits you from off screen, and then all of a sudden you have 4 more abilities coming out of nowhere, just one-shotting you.
The artillery range is what you're looking at. It's just like, oh my gosh. That's probably one of my favorite combinations. I do Xerath Jhin or, you know, Xerath Ashe or something. And you can just kill them off screen. It's the most frustrating. Great. Right now, we are getting a chance. Zombro looking for a chance in. Remember, this is the 5v4. Zombro can't step forward. The boss saying, hey, give me that chance. Pop curtain call immediately forced out because of the final spark. And now Zombro going in the back line, but you are alone. There was nothing in favor, and you are going to fall. It is now dead, 2 dead in that hold. No wave to go ahead and fight forward, but healthy members all the way around. Kino gonna take the tower route out, take 3 tower shots and be fine. It's the members though, taking a much safer route. Boss can't really do much. Fortunately, that's gonna be a great headshot. Draw in though as they get the shut down. Down goes Entrance at 7-2-1. That's the team looking though likeable. Spin with a 3rd laser across their face. Bombs bouncing around, trying to get their lives. Bottom inhibitor tower goes down. Bottom inhibitor sure to follow. Oh, that burn is ridiculous. This is getting so close. Satchel out thinking Zombro wants to chase. How much can they do? Oh, Kino gets drawn in. I don't think you wanted this. I don't think you wanted this fight. Kino says thank you very much. Down goes Oriana, and down goes the lot of them. Zombro was not able to find the Zig as he regroups with the rest of the team. In goes Vindy, down goes Vindy. From gray to alive to gray once again. This feels like Tempo Rush finishing off the game.
Yeah, pretty hard to fight into a lot of these champions for how short range the EGL is. Just, it feels like you're playing from across the street. Like, you don't even see half the champions that the EGL is using. All you can hit is this Renekton, but it doesn't matter. He just heals back all the damage you do to him.
It was painful, but it was done. It is going to be Tempo Rush once again to beat, at least here on stream, and I'm sure through the rest of the league. Well done. to them as they continue their rock solid performance. Of course, taking a look here, we are running behind time once again, so let's go ahead. We'll throw it to a quick break and get ready for an interview with another member of Tempo Rush, get a few thoughts, and then move it into the last game of the day. Please don't go anywhere. The EGL double round robin tournament here this weekend will continue in. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. We're doing a little bit of an interview once again. Gonna enjoy ourselves, hopefully, throughout the rest because we have lost to shopkeeper. Because I couldn't fit the R. I'm sorry. Lost to shopkeeper. How you doing today? And how are you feeling after that dub?
Doing pretty good. Feel good after the games. I mean, we won every game so far, so that's always a big relief. But yeah, I felt pretty good so far these past games.
Yeah, so I kind of want to ask about the draft. Like, when did you decide to start just drafting all these ranged champions that can just fire off from the screen?
So the main thing that I saw right off the bat was the Oriana. I think when you're picking Oriana and you reveal her that early, her main counters to her are pretty much like, artillery or mages. I think you see a lot of like Xerath versus her in pro play as a good example, but I just like the idea of like Ziggs, for example, because he's got that range that can pretty much oppress her. Also, but I did like, but when I see like those low range champions and like how they want to run at us, um, that's where I kind of benefit off the range champions in the draft because it's a lot harder for like Ori, to walk really far into like your team, right? Because her ball can only go so far and Vi can only go so far and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I picked the more ranged champions because they started to pick a bunch of like low range champions that were like they had engaged, but it wasn't like the longest range engage like a Blitzcrank would have or like a Kled or Malphite, for example.
Hmm. And then, Zutter obviously not being able to play today. How does it to try and incorporate Peanut now in the jungle role and try to get days in your life to fill in?
So the thing that's really nice is that Day in the Life does actually play support. That's his main role. So he plays a lot of, I think, like Rakan and like Senna and those sort of things. So it was really nice that he could slot in. And then Chris is actually a pretty good jungler. I know in the past, like originally when there was that NCW or NWCT tournament, I think that's what it was called, in Green Bay, he played jungle and he had like a Covenant Gragas. So I think he's always been a pretty good jungler. I think supports honestly can flex jungle as well, because they understand like a lot of support players like to roam to other lanes to make plays. So I think they do a pretty good fit in the jungle position as well.
I love it. I love it. Taking a look here, you guys are going ahead and having a great time undefeated throughout. I mean, who was your favorite team to play here tonight, would you say?
So honestly, I really did like playing against NG. The reason why is because I think that Nutter is like a really good mid laner. Well, honestly, if I can't really pick one. I just like playing against NG and EGL. For the main reasons of their mid laners. They're actually both really, really good players, and they push me to my limits, which is what I like, and it helps me, understand the game a bit better. Um, but I guess like if you just had to have me pick an overall team, I want to say NG still just because of I think that they are the best team in the out of the four. So it's always nice to get like that pushing like factor in the games where Nutter's pushing me to like my limits or like DDoS. I think DDoS is a really good support too. I think he's really really good at the champions he plays, especially Blitzcrank. That's kind of why we ban it. But yeah, I think they're just all really really good players on like NG side. I think they're pretty much the best team next to us, and I think they're not even that further behind. I think unfortunately it's just how the meta is right now with like it's very late gamey. So like I think once teams start to pick that up too, they'll be a lot better as well.
All right, well, there you go. Again, thank you so much for the interview here. Lost You Shopkeeper joining us here on the desk. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the games today.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Of course. With that, we will go to a very short break. Please don't go anywhere. We have a final match coming up. It will be a rematch between EXC and EGL to come in just a few moments. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the final game of the day.